Eagles by way of New Jersey. You already know, man. Shout out to my first-time viewers. Shout out to my last-time viewers. Shout out to the people that's viewing this video, whether religiously or in passing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to that YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I go on live, man. You already know, man. This video is brought to you by BetUS, man. The best sporting book in the business, man. Right now, the playoffs has been underway for quite some time. My Lakers got swept. Not even swept, because that's wrong. My Lakers got put out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was already a done deal. You know, the Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons. Now they playing the Celtics. They actually beat the Celtics in game 1. The Warriors just beat Minnesota. You know what I mean? And Julius Randle can't find a three-pointer to save their life. They just chucking up threes. Got one of the worst three-point, like with the two, they got one of the worst three-point percentages in playoff history. With just the two. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, make sure y'all tap into BetUS, man. The link is in the description down below. You know what I mean? Also, become a member to the Patreon. It comes with a lot of perks, man. Click the link in the description for exclusive content to the Patreon page, man. Like I said, man, when you become a member, it comes with perks, man. You get free merch. Hopefully y'all like the content that I am putting up on my page. Hopefully y'all can accept it. Like I said, man, still gonna be doing Eagle stuff, but at the same time, I will be putting my podcast content up there too. Not the full video, just clips of the video. So hopefully y'all like the videos, y'all like the clips and everything like that. Hopefully y'all appreciate everything, you know what I mean? Gotta do it, gotta keep the ball rolling, you know what I mean? Gots to keep the ball rolling for sure. You feel what I'm saying? While it's still somewhat of dry spots out there, gotta keep the ball rolling. All right, man, let's talk a little bit about the Philadelphia Eagles, man, and what we've witnessed 2 nights ago. We witnessed 2 gentlemen step on the quote-unquote red carpet of the Met Gala and look fantastic, right? They didn't overly do it, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts had the Kango on, looked like a man, looked like a gentleman. He didn't have anything tight, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't exposing nothing. He looked like a man, you know what I mean? He looked like how a man's supposed to look. Saquon Barkley at the Met Gala looked like a man. Didn't overly do it, you know, didn't have too much showing. Nothing was tight, you know what I mean? He looked like a presentable man, and that's how you supposed to dress. You know, put it like this, bro. There's nothing wrong with dressing how you want to dress, but in my lifetime, especially as of now, they took away that dressing style, and everything gotta be so, you know, out there, so tight. You know what I mean? Everything gotta be exposed, and them 2 gentlemen reminded me of how to dress like a man. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts killed it. They killed it at the Met Gala. They stood out. You know, Jalen Hurts brought his wife, you know, his newly wife, to the Met Gala, killed it. It was a couple of athletes that was in attendance. You know, Joe Burrow was in attendance. Looked like a man. He looked like a gentleman. You know what I mean? Stefon Diggs. I don't know what Stefon Diggs had on. You know what I mean? He had on some type of what's that movie? I mean, what's that show that come on HBO with the dragons? It's the House of Dragons. He looked like one of those House of Dragon characters that had on sheepskin that, you know, hanging off his shoulder and stuff like that. It was a lot of weird stuff going on at the Met Gala. I ain't gonna lie. That always been like a weird thing to me. The Met Gala always been like a weird place to attend. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy that both my guys came through and looked like men, looked like gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? They look exactly like men. Shout out to everybody who's viewing this, whether religiously or in passing. Like I said, please make sure that y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know what I mean? They look like gentlemen. You know what I mean? So shout out to them too. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit back at the Met Gala for a minute, but aren't we the best team in the NFC? Not just the NFC East, but aren't we the best organization, the best franchise in the NFC right now. One of the best franchises in the league right now. You know what I mean? You can just feel it. You can feel the atmosphere. On top of that, you know when we get a bunch of hate, when we start getting scrutinized, that should let you know that we are one of the best franchises in the league. That should let you know that. We are one of the best franchises in the league. That should let you know that by far. You know what I'm saying? That should let you know that by far. We hit on damn near every draft pick this year, as we do for the past 5 or 6 years, besides that Jalen Reagor pick. Other than that, we hit on every draft pick this year. Damn near every draft pick. According to me. Now, we still got to see how they play out. We still got to see how they pan out. But for Howie Roseman to lose a lot of defensive players and then go acquire these quote-unquote studs on defense through the draft is amazing. It's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to me. He replaced C.J. Gardner-Johnson with Makuba, right? Now we still got to see how Makuba pan out. But what I'm saying is that it ain't like he didn't fill in the gap. It ain't like he just went offense. No, he filled in the gaps on defense. And we have depth pieces. We have a roster that have depth pieces. And that's what actually win a lot of times, because nothing is guaranteed, right? You're going to get, listen, you may get hurt. I'm not going to say you're going to get hurt. But there may be injuries that occur during the course of the season. So with that being said, you're going to want to have depth pieces, right? That's what happened with us last year. When the Kobe Dean got hurt, we had Oren Burks. When Darius Slay was in and out of the lineup due to injury, we had Isaiah Rodgers and a little bit of Kelly Ringo. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Like when your depth pieces, when your main pieces get injured, your depth pieces are dead, and your depth pieces have to be good enough to actually, contribute to the game. Jalen Hurts got hurt, who stepped in? Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we drafted who we drafted. You feel what I'm saying? The Philadelphia Eagles didn't pick up. I'm not gonna say didn't pick up. My bad. Pardon me. The Philadelphia Eagles picked up Jordan Davis' fifth-year option, which is $12 million. That's also good. That's very good. Nakobe Dean has to show out this year when he come back from injury, because he is playing for a contract. He is playing for a contract, not just with this team, but he's playing for a contract for another team, because this is his contract year. Last year could have been his contract year, but this is his contract year right here. So you have to show up and show out. But when he do get healthy, that's a good indication that now we could be a little bit more flexible with Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell is a hybrid linebacker that could play the edge, that could play defensive end. That's actually what he went to Alabama for. When he first went to Alabama, he went as a defensive end, and then he transitioned to linebacker. So we have somebody that could play both. When the Kobe Dean gets healthy, then you could do a little bit more with Jahad Campbell, and that could become an explosive defense. That could become an explosive defense. You know what I'm saying? So that's also good right there. But as far as the draft picks that we picked on, that we hit on, man, we got a nose tackle. We got a true nose tackle from Nebraska. Nebraska defensive line is always a problem. Always a problem, in a good way. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You feel what I'm saying? The NFL schedule will be released May 16th. So that's sometime next week, and that's also good because that'll let us know who we play first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, whatever, so on and so forth. It's reported that we have the fourth hardest schedule in the league so far. So we just got to see how it line up. You know what I mean? I definitely want to see who we play week one, because week one is the ring ceremony. You know what I mean? So I want to see who we go against week one. You know what I mean? Who's going to be the first victims on week one? You know what I mean? Gotta see that. Definitely have to see that. In other news, though, not Eagles news, but in Cowboys news, Cowboys have acquired Kenny Pickett from the Steelers for draft compensation. So the Steelers got draft compensation, and they traded Kenny Pickett to the Cowboys. What this means? It means that Dak has another receiver. Now, this is the thing, though, right? How are the Cowboys are going to take another Antonio Brown-like attitude over there? Kenny Pickett is a good wide receiver. I'm not going to say he's awesome. I'm not going to say he's great, because he had moments when he needed to show up last year. He didn't show up for Russell Wilson. Half-ass running routes. You know what I mean? There been times when he didn't catch the ball. Yes, he has that potential, but he's not all the way there. With that being said, he has the attitude of an Antonio Brown. How is that going to work over there? Yes, he is another weapon for Dak Prescott, but nobody's not worried, though. Nobody's not worried. You know what I mean? But that do shore up their wide receiver room with him, Brandon Cooks, and Kenny Pickett. I mean, not Kenny Pickett, George Pickens. I'm sorry. If I've been saying his name wrong the whole time, my bad. George Pickens. You know what I mean? I do give him another weapon. I do want to say this, though. The NFC East has improved vastly, roster-wise. Even the Giants, even down to the Giants, they have improved vastly. You know what I mean? They got two quarterbacks that can possibly work. The Giants got two quarterbacks that could possibly work in Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston. So we're going to start there. They have running backs. They have decent running backs. You know what I mean? Their defensive line got really good. You know what I mean? Got really good. They got that defensive line out of they got the DE out of Penn State. I forget his name right now. It's not ringing a bell right now. But y'all know who I'm talking about, though. You're from Penn State. You know what I mean? Their whole defensive front is real good, and I feel like their whole defense, they definitely shored up their defense for sure. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be good, but what I am saying is that they're going to be real competitive, though. The whole NFC East just got competitive. But with that being said, though, the Eagles are still number one. You know what I mean? We still got the best roster, period. We still have the best roster, period. We're still number one. We're still leaps and bounds over these teams. The only team that came close to us, and I think is going to come close to us now, is the Washington Commanders. I do think that they leapfrog Dallas and take Dallas' spot. I think Dallas played third to the Washington Commanders, and then it's the Giants. But if you want my opinion, I feel like the Giants might leapfrog Dallas. So it might be Philly, the Commanders, Giants, and Dallas as far as division leaders. As far as division leaders this year. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's how I look at it. You feel what I'm saying? That's exactly how I look at it. But don't get it wrong, the Philadelphia Eagles is still the best team in the NFC East and the NFC, period. And the NFC, period. I believe we have the best quarterback in the NFC. You know what I mean? After that comes Matthew Stafford and then Jalen Daniels. I believe we have the best running back in the NFC. I believe we have the two best wide receivers in the NFC. I believe we have the best offensive line in the NFC. Overall offense, we got the best offense in the NFC. As far as defense, I believe we have the best defense in the NFC. I don't know who comes second in the NFC on defense, but on defense, we got the best in the NFC. Bro, we're the best in the league, and it's not even close. That's true. That's a fact. We are the best in the league as far as franchise, as far as players, as far as organization. The best in the league right now. You feel what I'm saying? Just don't want to give us the credit. Hurts the credit. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want to give Jalen Hurts the credit. I was listening to the facility yesterday, right? And we all know how Chase Daniels get down. Chase Daniels was making every excuse for Justin Herbert. Now, the question that they pose for Justin Herbert is he a Hall of Famer? Or can he still be a Hall of Famer? And Chase Daniels gave every excuse on why he still could be a Hall of Famer. What he said was, and I'm paraphrasing, he said was, yeah, he still have time. He has the godly stats and everything like that. He just got to win playoff games. You know what I mean? But he's a franchise quarterback, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to Jalen Hurts, Chase Daniels says this. He don't care how many Super Bowl Jalen Hurts win. He would never start his franchise with Jalen Hurts. Or he always got an excuse on why Jalen Hurts is winning. Or he never put Jalen Hurts in the top 5. Or, you know what I mean? Top 5 quarterback bracket. Or it's a different, it's a fall off between the first 4 quarterbacks and the rest of them is a fall off. Like, he never include Jalen Hurts. That right there is a sign of hate to me. That right there is a sign of not giving somebody credit. So when the Philadelphia Eagles don't get credit, it got to do more so with Jalen Hurts than it does the team. I believe that Jalen Hurts don't get the credit. You feel what I'm saying? They always do that to Jalen Hurts because he doesn't know. Hold on, I can't really read it because I'm driving and shit like that. So hold on. Because he's just a player, not just the main focus of the team, but he's not a diva, and they don't like that. Yo, that's the thing, bro. I do it. My bad. Hold on. I had to flip it, but I do agree with you, Cool Willie. He's not a diva, bro. And the thing is, he carry himself in a way that the media doesn't like. You know what I mean? He's very poised. He doesn't say a lot. He chooses his words wisely. You know what I'm saying? He's quiet. He's level-headed. When we losing, he stay level. When he's winning, he's staying level. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. He has a swag. He has an aura. You know what I mean? He's a ladies' man. You feel what I'm saying? They don't like that. They don't like that. You feel what I'm saying? He don't do things conventional. You know what I mean? He's a very, very, very good dual threat. You know what I mean? They want to see all of these stats, right? They equate stats as being the best quarterback. But that's not true. Winning is being the best quarterback. Being the best for your team is being the best quarterback. You know what I mean? The winning percentage being the best, it is being the best quarterback. You can have all these stats in the world but not get nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? You can have all of these stats in the world but not get nowhere. Phillip Rivers had a bunch of stats. Didn't get him nowhere. Didn't even equate to wins. Right now, Justin Herbert got a lot of stats, but it don't equate to no playoff wins. My boy is 0-2 in the playoffs. He got all these stats in the regular season, but then poo-poo when it come playoff time. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not just that. It takes his credibility away. That's why I don't listen to him. There's no credibility when you want to sit him and just put Jalen Hurts in the top 5 anymore. Yo, I don't listen to Chase Daniels. I like the facility because of the conversations that they had. But as far as Chase Daniels' opinion, he is biased. I don't listen to him because a lot of times I do believe this. Just because you played the game that doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. Because he a lot of times I be questioning like, yo, what is you talking about? He is very biased. I don't listen to him. Along with Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel Acho come off as if he's so articulate when it comes to the sport of football. He talk like it. But a lot of times he don't know what he's saying. But I listen to shows like that just for the conversation piece. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, like, I have my own eyes, I have my own ears, and when I watch football, I assess the game. Like, I look at the eye test. So I mean not look at the eye test. I give an eye test. I have a set of eyes. So when I see the game not just for the stat purposes. I see the game of how the player is actually playing. That's how I look at the game. How the player is actually playing. Is he making good plays? Is he making bad plays? Is he making good reads? Is he making bad reads? You know what I'm saying? Prime example is I listen to people who are actually good. As far as I remember, dude was a complete idiot, and a complete bomb. Yeah. Chase Daniels, he never started throughout his 14-year career. He was always a backup. In fact, fun fact, he did play for the Philadelphia Eagles at one point. Yeah, he was just robbing teams. He was definitely robbing teams or whatever. They were signing him to, like, backups. They get paid the veteran minimum, but he was getting paid $15 million for 2 years, $12 million for 2. Like, he was buns. I forgot what I wanted to go at, but I do want to say this, right? As I was saying before, a lot of people don't know what some of these players' roles are. So, being the fact that some of these players have a role, they deem that for them. I mean, they then turn that and say and start scrutinizing them for their role. Prime example, right? A lot of the Philadelphia Eagles starters, especially skilled players, their stats were down due to injury and due to what was the game plan at hand. When Saquon Barkley came in the building, the game plan was to run the ball, and we had to figure that out after the bye week. After the bye week, we ran the ball tremendously. And what happened is Jalen Hurts' stats went down, his turnovers went down, and his stats went down. A.J. Brown and Smitty targets and their stats went down for the betterment of the team because they had a role to play. But what the three-letter networks in the facility would say is, oh, he don't have a lot of passing yards. Oh, he don't have a lot of passing touchdowns. Oh, so on and so forth. Oh, he's surrounded by a super team. They give all of these excuses. But the role for Jalen Hurts was, if we running the ball and if we are successful at running the ball, then what's broke? I mean, then what's not broken doesn't need to be fixed. Let's continue to run the ball. Let's continue to run this thing through Saquon Barkley. And if they key up on Saquon Barkley, then we're going to pass the ball. Prime example is what we did in the Super Bowl. They keyed on Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts ripped the top off the lid and was throwing the ball everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, bro, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, they scrutinize him and he don't get his credit. But it's all cool though, because at this point we don't need no credit from nobody. We don't need no credit from nobody. You know what I mean? Listen, I think, in my opinion, I think Jalen Hurts is cool with that now. I think he feeds off that. I think that's the fuel to his fire is them criticizing him and him going out and balling out. He lets play do the work. He don't care what these people say. He don't care what the networks say. He lets play do the work. He let winning show the work. He let winning show the work. And shout out to my guy Cool Willie, man. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you tap into the Patreon, man. I'm giving out free merch. You know what I mean? I'm giving out free merch. I'm giving out free hoodie sweatpants set. Also, I'm giving out a pair of my shoes for free once you become a member. The link to the Patreon is in the description, yo. Just become a member and click that link, bro. That's all you gotta do. I'm giving out free merch. I got Eagles jackets. I got my own merch. You know what I mean? My own sweat sets. You feel what I'm saying? I got my own shoes. Just become a member, bro. Anybody become a member. But yeah, man. The Philadelphia Eagles is the best in the NFC and the best in the NFC East. I just want to say that. Both of my guys came out to the Met Gala and looked like gentlemen. They looked like gentlemen. They presented themselves like gentlemen. They dressed like gentlemen. They dressed like men. And I like that. You know what I mean? They didn't overdo it. No tight stuff. You know what I mean? They dressed how a man's supposed to look, bro. And I like that. You know what I mean? They wasn't all flamboyant with it and everything like that. They dressed like men, and I like that. You feel what I'm saying? I like that for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, make sure y'all tap in. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all tap in. Hopefully y'all like the podcast clips that I be posting. As I said earlier, man, I'm going to keep posting them, you know what I mean, to keep the content up. You feel what I'm saying? But this still is a Philadelphia Eagles thing. This still is a hype fan Eagle thing. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I'm going to keep posting the podcast clips, man, to keep the page up, to keep the content up. So hopefully y'all like the podcast clips. I will be posting some pictures in the community post. Hopefully y'all like the pictures in the community post of what we do in the studio and stuff like that. But you already know, man. Listen, I appreciate every last single one of y'all, man. Please make sure that y'all like, subscribe, share this video. Please make sure that y'all hit that notification bell. Shout out to my guy, Cool Willie, in the building, man. I appreciate you, man. You already know, man. Y'all continue to have a blessed day. You already know, man. It's your boy, Hype Fan Eagle, representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. You already know, man. Gang.